Ding, 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 ding. We are live. Yeah. Like it up, live.
What's up?
Doing it live. It's your boy Bishop Omega speaking for Young Just. You know what I'm saying? Well, not Young Just. I'm sorry, King Just. He's not young anymore. You know what I'm saying? King Just, the life and times of Just. You know what I'm saying? The good friend and partner of all trades, my man, good friend, P Nominal. You know what I'm saying? DJ, put the DJ in front of it because he deserves all his praise. So take the time right now, y'all. Go to the Intelligently Ratchet page. If you're listening right now, go ahead and share this from the page. Don't do a watch party. I heard because a watch party don't give you the numbers that you need to get. So,
thank you.
Share the record.
No more watch parties.
No more watch parties unless you no more watch parties. You're right. Just share it directly from the page because we're cool and we deserve your love in that way.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Hey, Candace, what up? Shout out to Candy Carver.
Candy Carver.
Yo, as soon as we live, she on it. Like, she an OG Ratcheteer. I'm going to have to get her an OG Ratcheteer shirt.
She needs to have one 100% of the time.
100% of the time. You know, maybe we should work on something to see if she can do an actual joint for us.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be nice.
For those that don't know, like, thank you. You know, I am on the one right now. Like, so I am going to be the Ratchet and the Intelligently Ratchet. So,
oh man, this is hilarious,
no
Joe.
judgment. What? Pinamo, what are you doing?
My bad, man. I'm trying to get to Facebook. I'm trying to share the link here.
Yo,
that was the first thing that paid him up.
There it is. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing wrong. Let's share it right here. Boom.
Right. But shout out to everybody tuning in. We see everybody jumping in the comments here. We've got a lot to discuss.
Do we?
Yeah, we do.
We always have a lot to discuss, man. We want to start it off.
Yeah, I want to start it off with something that's very important. You know what I'm saying in this day and time in this climate. The new Netflix show, The Floor is Lava. You know what I'm saying? In these days and time, we finally have the technology to bring this childhood game to life for adults. I don't know why. No one thought of, hey, let's put some food coloring in a pool and put foam in it and make shapes and let's jump over it. Have y'all seen The Floor is Lava is what I'm asking. Ratcheteers, yes. Check this out. You know what I'm saying? What do you think of The Floor is Lava? What would you change about it, P? Or is it everything that your wildest dreams?
It is everything that I expected it to be. It's funny as hell. To be honest with you, I agree with you. I'm surprised no one thought of this sooner. The best part of the show, for those of you who have not seen it, are the eliminations. So think about Most Extreme Elimination Challenge. Think about Guts, depending on how old you are. and any other fun-loving Nickelodeon show with a twist of horror for every time someone dies in the show. Yes, people die in the show. Right in front of you. It happens.
It's like it's so hilarious because the way they edit. I'm sorry, I'm not paying looking right y'all in the eyes. They're so hilarious because when you fall in the lava, they edit the show so when you go in, everybody's like, oh, because again, you're playing as you're watching. You're like, oh, you fell in lava, and they tell the person whoever falls in the lava, they have to go under, and then they never show them again. It's like it's
right.
It's like they actually really die.
You die in real time, and then the response to it.
It's a dope show. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to see if I could get Justin P to go ahead and jump into it. You know what I'm saying?
I would do it.
You would do it?
I would definitely do it.
P jumping in the lava.
I'm gonna try to avoid the lava. That's the whole point. But I'm going first though. If all three of us go up there, I'm going first. Y'all can learn from me.
The way my back's set up, I have to get Kazi to come back to sub me in or whatever. You know what I'm saying? The way my back's set up, I can't do it.
When you push people in the lava.
No, you're not supposed. You're on a team.
I don't want to be on a team. I'm on a one-man army.
You gotta be. You listen.
It's teams of three. So I'll explain how it works.
So you gotta beat the other teams.
Right.
To get the lava land.
My thing is, can I push P Nominal in the lava?
I mean, you could, but we might lose the game.
Phenomenal if you feel as though that you should. But I would say this right here: make sure that one of us gets a point first. Like so, P. Like this is what I would be accepting. This is where I would be accepting. Like if you already get over there and I get over there, and then P's the last person to get there, and as he's jumping to get to the finish line, you kind of like goal line stop him. That good, you know what I'm saying? And then he falls in, it's okay then, you know what I'm saying? But we need them points.
So I can make him the sacrificial lamb.
Right. We send him on the hard side of the missions, but nah, it's dope.
I'm never feeling that P's gonna be the weakest link.
No, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's probably me because the way my balance is set up with my stomach.
You do have a 2-inch vertical.
Man, my vertical is nice, man. It's nice. You've seen the pictures.
That's
like that.
You got a 2-inch.
Like that high off the ground, B.
Vertical. Like I mean, you good. Like you know what I'm saying?
I'm a James Harden that shit. I ain't gotta have
if you got a running start, you can get a 3.5, maybe 4.5.
5-inch vertical or whatever.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can get a 6 off of the tread.
Oh my god.
Like,
oh my god. Yo, if y'all haven't checked it out, man, you know, one of my recommendations is to check that show out. It's pretty freaking hilarious, especially if you've seen people bust their ass.
Is it a game show?
No, it's like Double Dare for grown-ups, man.
There you go. That's a good explanation.
Yep, it's like Double Dare for grown-ups. And you get $10,000 if you win.
Okay, have you seen the what's the joint? Y'all gotta forgive me. I'm on one right now. But have you seen the what's the Steph Curry joint? The Holy Moly?
Haven't seen the Holy Moly.
It's like it's miniature golf, but it's the same thing. Like they give people $25,000.
Somebody said that on my post about because I asked about it. I asked like, has anyone seen The Floor is Lava earlier this week? And they said something about Holy Moly, and I was like, oh shoot. What is that on Apple TV? Some shit I don't have.
I don't know. I was watching it on Hulu. I have Apple TV, but I think I was watching it on Hulu. But it's like damn, it's like one of those game shows, and they be doing some crazy shit. Like I think of it, but it's whatever I'm thinking plus miniature golf.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Holy moly, and The Floor is Lava. And what Keisha? Hold on, let's go. We got Candace, we got Keisha in the building, you know what I'm saying? They're giving away money. Yup. You know what I'm saying? How to do that? Let me see. There is no second season yet. I don't know why. It should be a second season. It should be a second season. The Floor of Lava should have a celebrity edition and everything. If you had it, if Bishop Omega was at Netflix, I would do that. I would have that going on. You know what I'm saying? But P, you said we got some stuff to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and get into it.
What are we talking about?
This show is going to be chock full of wins against racism. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my people out in Oxford. If y'all didn't know, they were out in Oxford. My homeboy DJ Scotty Rock led a movement.
Scotty Rock.
Yep, DJ Scotty Rock led a movement of the world famous Butter Team in Oxford to have a Confederate monument removed. And when I say these people in Oxford, the Karens, the Karens in the Phils in Oxford, man, they are ruthless. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, they put it up, said he was trying to excite a riot and all that stuff. He just went to city council and pretty much asked him to go ahead and pull it down. So shout out to that.
Well, speaking of pulling things down, Riley definitely got rowdy just a few days ago, and they pulled down a few monuments of their own. And I got a video here I'd like to share.
Okay, so we'll see what happens. Let's look at the form. Now, as you can see, hold on, rewind that. Look at that.
Rewind. Go back.
See, sometimes this is what happens. Pause it. Okay, back. See, when you take the heart-shaped herb, you become the Black Panther. And this is the strength of the Black Panther. You know what I'm saying? The Black Panther. Now go ahead and play it, man. So they pulled it down. Bang! Yo, they celebrating. They had homeboy tied up with the knife and pulled the other one down. Bang!
Mm-hmm.
And this is the one that they just took everything down, right? They just removed the whole joint, right?
Right. Let me cut down a little bit so y'all can hear.
We don't need the audio because we need to keep it for the YouTube.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that is crazy. And then they strung him up.
They strung him up.
Yo, how strong is that's super wild, B. That's super wild. They drug him through the streets.
Mm-hmm. Made an example out of him.
Make an example. Just look, and then my God, look at that. I can't be. I wouldn't be kicking that shit though. Like, honestly, stop kicking and you're gonna break a toe. That shit is metal. That shit is metal. You don't want to fuck up your whole look. The police, and they look.
Have you ever broke a toe?
Oh my God!
Mm-hmm.
Listen. Okay, my God, that was a great. That's what. Listen, I know we lost some viewers off that shit, but I don't care.
It's okay.
It's okay.
And then following that, I'm not sure what the name of the actual monument was. They ended up removing another statue a few days after the fact in response to this. So, yeah, man. People had enough. They're ready for it to go.
Right. My thing is this right here. It's like it's better to. What I'm going to say is this right here. With those monuments and everything like that, I'm going to say this right here. I'm at the place is it's like this. Those monuments, just go ahead and take them down. You know what I'm saying? It's way past time for them to be coming down. They've been up for 60, 65 years or whatever. If my math's off, let me know.
This one I think was 100 and some odd years. There's like 120 years, I think they said been there.
120 years. Well, like I said, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like what I realized when I saw today was like they have Confederate monuments in places that never was in the Confederacy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, well, it's time for that mess to stop, So I say, yeah, pull them down. Like, yeah, I don't mind. Like, if you want to do a Confederate museum and you want to put all the monuments around a Confederate museum, do that. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like this. I'm one of the people that's like, yo, we wouldn't have to pull them down if y'all just took them down. You know what I'm saying? And it's like this. Because when you get angry people, they go after your shit and they're going to bust your shit up. So, listen, kudos to anybody tearing shit the fuck down. You know what I'm saying? And then, if you feel bad about it, okay, that's fine. But my thing is right here, that's not a cultural. That's almost like, showing your power of your white supremacy. So, like, I don't mind, take it, put it in this place. Like, shit, if you want to build a satanic church, do it. Fine. You know what I'm saying? But just don't, put it in on Christ Street. You know what I'm saying? You dig what I'm saying? Like, yo, you can do what you got to do, but go ahead and just move them joints down. It's high time for America's waking up right now. And it's time to move on. It's time to be like, all right, cool. It's cool that your grandparents fought in the war. But you know what I'm saying? It's like that's your great grandparents. Like the people like, y'all forget about slavery. Well, forget about the Confederate War then. You know what I mean? Forget about the Civil War. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you want us to forgive you for slavery, let that shit go too. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we wouldn't be bitching about it if we didn't have a constant reminder in places that, you know what I'm saying, we have to, like the capital city. It's not like I can't bitch and moan if you put the Confederate flag in a museum, you know what I mean? Because it's a part of history. And I'm not going to bitch and moan about that. It's a part of history. I'm not going to say take everything that the Civil War, you know what I mean, Confederates out of the Civil War, whatever war heroes they had or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. I'm not going to say just take them out of history, but we don't need to see the goddamn reminders of the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so.
No, if it is going to be a reminder, we need to be have an honest reminder on all sides, because
exactly
right now I can look at my son's history books and the school books, and they say that they weren't slaves; they were indentured servants.
Ooh, what?
Yeah, they changed that. I forgot about that.
They'll change the wording and the narrative for our history, but not like if it's a part of American history, period. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And let's just be honest, slavery was a part of American history. And if we're going to honor the Confederacy part of it, let's honor every single part of it. Let's honor the part of the Native American side of it too. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not leave anything out and just think that the Confederacy part of it was the most honorable thing. You know what I'm saying? Which, in fact, we know that it wasn't. So, if we're going to be honest about our history,
right?
We're going to honor our history. Let's just bring it all to the forefront.
And Joe's, I want to speak to Joseph's comment. Joseph Johnson, I guess this is your first time, man. Shout out to Joseph for being a first timer, intelligently ratchet. Thank you for coming in first and foremost, good sir. But listen, it's not a political situation. We're not making it a political situation because, again, I'm saying racism. If we wake up today and said there aren't any racist Democrats, then we'd be lying to each other. You know what I'm saying? There is racist Democrats, there is racist Republicans, there is racist, what's the third party? The individual party.
Independents.
The independents, I said, the independents. So it's like this because what it is, it's woven within the American society. You know what I'm saying? It's built into it. You know what I'm saying? They built it off of, racism. So anything that comes good out of America has a tinge and a black spot of racism on it. So, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, we're not going to get too political on all that. You know what I'm saying? They could be Democratic. I don't care. You know what I mean? If you owned a slave, you know what I'm saying? If you didn't like black people, then I don't think your face should be anywhere near me because we helped build this motherfucker. So that's what it is. So yeah. And then, like I said, they switch parties and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to think about this party switch. And I'm one of the people. I'm glad he brought that up too. I'm glad he brought that up.
Mm-hmm.
Glad he brought that up about the party switching and everything like that. Because that gives me to the question I wanted to ask today on Facebook. Once a racist, always a racist. Is once a racist, always a racist? Or can you unlearn racism? You know what I'm saying? And then if someone does unlearn the racism, you know what I'm saying? How do we forgive?
Okay. So can you unlearn it? Absolutely.
Well, can you not be racist? You know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, I'm saying that, you know what I'm saying, are we, and I want Ratcheteers a yes or no in the comments. Give me your reasons why. Let's go.
So, I mean, anything that you do is learned behavior, ultimately. I mean, yeah, there's going to be some people who, you're not going to convince some 95-year-old person that lived through, X, Y, and Z wars, segregation, color fountains, and all that good stuff that maybe black people are worthwhile. They may not believe that, or whoever that group may be. But, overall, for people in general, I'm really referring to someone who's open-minded. Right. That is maybe not, like I said, 95, 100 years old. But I think it's going to take an interpersonal experience, like one-on-one, or like we're doing right now, having a conversation, peeling back the layers to truly understand. There might be some yelling and some shouting in the beginning, but like at some point, if you go through a legitimate conversation and you come with facts and not just emotions, eventually you're going to tear away at those beliefs that people have. Mm-hmm. And as a result, essentially unlearning that programming and that behavior. What do you think, Just?
I don't know. I just came back on and I was like, why is Bishop and P9 matching with outfits with the same color?
We're the same color, but I'm representing I'm doing throwbacks today, you know what I'm saying?
Murder Hornets.
You can't find these no more, man. These
Word up.
vintage.
They
Vintage.
stopped making them for a reason. They was like, you know what? Let's not make that shirt anymore. Let's not do it.
Let's not do it.
Yeah, especially at Marshalls. But let me stop. My dog.
It's all right, Jess. Okay. I see you. Go ahead, man.
I don't have an opinion because, like I told you all in the chat, I was like, I'm all for having some of the discussion, but I have these discussions at work. I have these discussions online.
So you done with it? You done with it to talk about other shit, Just?
I just need a little break.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, so
I can respect that. So let's see. Keith said, hold on, Danny. We're gonna put Danny's joint up. Racism is a learned trait. So what I say, if you can learn it, you can learn not to be. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So that's dope. Depending on how bad it is. Let's see. First, acknowledge that race is not real. It's a social construct. Racism is. Race is real. Race is a real thing because we made it a real thing. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like saying, you know what I mean? You know, that is a big part because everybody has their own culture and race, right? So if you're gonna make race real, and again, look, like I'm saying,
racism is real. That means race is real.
Race is real, right? You can't have race without. Race was invented in 1770. Okay, that's fine. But I'm saying it's been around. But my thing is right here. Has race been around before me and you were born? Yes. So it makes it a norm. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't born, you know what I mean, in 1775. I wasn't even born in 1975. So you know what I'm saying? It's been around. This is a construct that we're in, right? You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, black, white, whatever, Spanish, whatever, you know what I mean? We decided as a human race to separate each other the way that we look. That's what we're dealing with. Now, okay, that's no problem with that. That's no problem with the separation and say, these are my people that I look like. It's just when racism comes in the point is when some people said everybody that I look like is better than everybody that they look like. You know what I'm saying? And then when you say that and you have the money and everything like that, absolutely, it's a social construct. I'm not disagreeing with it, but I'm saying is this right here. Saying it's a social construct ain't helping shit. Those, you know what I mean, those facts aren't helping our people that are misinformed. You know what I'm saying? That are sitting misinformed, that don't like black people because they've been told all of these lies and stuff like that. So no, you know what I mean? We have to deal with it what it is. We're dealing with racism right now. So at the end of the day, how do we stop that? Can someone that learned how to be racist, because that's the question, can someone that learned how to be racist, that learned how to be bigoted, be turned over? I say yes, because you know what I mean, one of my substitute teachers, I remember one time, he said he went to Vietnam, said he was he said, I'm going to tell you something real quick. Don't nobody care what race you are if you're in the foxhole. Said this one, when you save their life.
And being a veteran, I can say, and being deployed and being in combat, I can tell you that's true.
Because don't nobody care, you know what I'm saying? When them bullets start flying and you get shot in your ass, you don't care if it's a black man, white man, Chinese man, purple man, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You don't care. So what I'm saying is at that point in time, if you don't care when bullets is flying, why should you care any other time? Why does it have to be in an emergency and shit when you don't care? You know what I'm saying? Or then you switch back. So because
I have two questions to ask. Okay. One, the Joseph person. Whose man is this? Is this your man's?
Nah.
Bishop?
He knew to the show.
Yeah, he knew.
He knew to the show. Okay. Secondly, Joseph, if we sent you a link, because I want to understand fully out of text what you're talking about, would you want to come on the show? That's all. If so, then we'll send you the link. You can come on as a guest real quick, and explain what you're talking about, and then I can get some better understanding. Okay.
He says yes. All right, we'll send it to him.
P9, can you send it to him?
Yep, I'm gonna get it right now.
All right, P9 is gonna send you to the joint. Joseph, we're gonna bring you on just so we can get some better understanding of what you're talking about.
Right, yeah, because we don't want to put words in your mouth and it's going through the text and all that
I'm
stuff.
all for understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Keys, don't eye roll.
Calm down, Keys, with the eye rolls. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna bring Joseph.
Joseph, you can do it from your phone.
You can do it
whatever you watch it from. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all good. You can go in the corner of your house. I don't care.
Give me just a second. I'm gonna get Joseph.
Yo, is this true, Justin? Hold on. The allegations right here, Justin, on the screen.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you. I done met a whole bunch of people. Yo, I should write a book.
Oh God!
You'd be surprised. Like, oh, for real, this is how you really feel, huh? Like, okay, right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I done had a couple people like, wait a minute, why are you liking me on Tinder and then still think it, like you're not ignorant? Okay, it is right. What it is.
Nah, man, because you know what I'm saying, just because you like black bodies, you know what I'm saying, you can like black dick and still be racist.
Yeah, that is true. They want nigga dick. But
all right, Joseph, I sent you the link, sir.
Shout out to Danny, shout out to Mimi. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to Andy, everybody on right now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
this intelligent action, man. We doing things different. We missing. We have never done this before. We have never took anybody out of the comments and brought them in. I think now that's going to be a new norm.
We're gonna give you some shine. If you are saying something, we are in Messenger. Yo, we're gonna send you the link. All you gotta do is click on it, and you can come on right on it.
Right, come on in.
If you're saying some stuff and you blow up the joint, hey, we're gonna give you a moment to say what you got to say, and we're gonna go from there. We may not agree, we may disagree, whatever it has, but we'll give you a chance to voice your opinion. You're not gonna be on the whole time, but we're gonna give you a moment to shine. All right, no doubt. Keish, we'll have you on next. All right. And so while we're waiting for Joseph to get on, we do want to let y'all know that we are looking for a co-host.
Yep, new co-host.
Preferably a female co-host.
Yes.
So you are a female interested in being on Intelligently Ratchet as a co-host. What we need you to do is go on your Instagram. Video explaining why you think you're the best option for a co-host on Intelligently Ratchet.
Right.
You need to tag Intelligently Ratchet at Intelligently Ratchet. You need to tag Bishop Omega. You need to tag me. You need to tag P9. Yep. And you need to tell the people in your group, in your cohort, in your support system, whatever you want to call it, you need to have them like and reshare and retag. And so those people that get the most reshares and tags, we're going to start bringing them on for a trial period. And then
to make sure you look good.
If Keisha's one of those people, we're going to bring her on for an episode. We're going to talk about political shit. We're going to talk about sports. We're going to talk about pop culture. We're going to talk about everything because we're not one dynamic of a topic.
Nope.
And then the next week, we're going to bring Candace on. And then the next week, we're going to bring Mimi on. And then the next week, we're going to bring Dez on. And then the next week, and then after that, we're going to be like, hey, who do y'all think is the best? And for those that we feel that we get a good vibe with, a good rapport with, that can hold conversations on all topics, start bringing you on as the co-host of Intelligently Ratchet. And
we might even, you know what I'm saying? I'm even saying that we might even kind of like what Straight to Tape does to me, is that we might even have two hosts, one as a permanent guest host, as a backup. So just because you don't make it on the main staff, don't mean you can't be running off the 6-man off the bench. You know what I'm saying? Or 1-man off the bench. You know what I'm saying? It's like this. So yeah, please tag us, put it up, put it on Facebook, put it on
you sent it?
Huh?
You sent the joint to Joseph?
Yeah, he said he's gonna get it. We can't. I don't know why.
Send it to him twice.
Send it to him twice.
All right, we can't see you twice. So you out here checking your other joint.
It's good. We'll try to.
If not, okay. We gotta keep going.
We gotta keep going.
Yeah, we gotta keep going. So, sorry about that, Joe. We gonna work on this. Our first time doing that. So
Keith said, "Just call me Eddie Kane." I ain't knowing it.
Oh wait, hold on. There he is.
He goes.
Yeah.
Joe got a blue shirt on too. Look at that. We all Crips.
What's up, y'all?
Hey,
turn your joint down, Joe. Turn it down, Joe.
I'm trying to turn my volume down. I got to show my TV back over here.
Okay.
We appreciate it.
I'm trying to turn my volume down. I got to show my TV back over here.
Okay.
it's live, y'all. It's live.
It's live, Joe. It's live. So
what's going on, man?
Everybody out there.
Chilling. How y'all doing this evening?
Good.
Yeah.
So
go ahead, let us know who you are. You know what I'm saying? And what's your opinion? Because we're talking about this topic right now. We gonna give you a like. Go ahead.
That's what's up. My name's Brandon Johnson. That's why I go by Brandon. Joseph, my first name, but Brandon's what I go by. And I've been I'm originally from Topeka, Kansas, and I've been here in North Carolina. I went to Winston-Salem State University, graduated from Winston-Salem State University, went to UNCG for film and video production, and then I taught film and video production for the past 10 years. I currently work at Duke producing educational video there, and I live out here outside of Raleigh in the suburbs, and I grow cannabis. I grow weed on a hemp farm.
So you the weed man?
Yup.
Yo, listen.
I'm that
I
dude.
couldn't resist. I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
So you want to go ahead, Ben? I'm sorry.
Nah, go. Oh, so we were talking about, you know what I mean, the whole race thing. You said racism is a social construct.
Yeah.
So I want you. So it seemed like we was agreeing on some points, and then on some points we didn't agree. So go ahead. I want you to go ahead and shed your light on it, and we'll be quiet so you get your whole thought out, and then we'll transpose on after you're finished. How about that?
Yeah, I hear you in regard to basically acknowledging that reality does nothing for us in the immediate space. Like whenever you're trying to debate with a racist, saying race is a social construct really doesn't do much for said racist. But the thing is, if a racist is going to be a racist, it doesn't matter what you tell them. That's irrelevant. The whole purpose of the situation is to inform those people who are on the sidelines. Whenever you're arguing with people who have extremist views, and racism is an extremist view, it's not about changing their opinion. They're already locked into what they're going to believe. They're already locked into what they're going to do. The opinions that you're trying to change are those individuals who can affect change, and those individuals who have malleable viewpoints, and they're watching things from the sidelines. So case in point, the main reason why you want to acknowledge it as a construct over legitimizing it is basically, as you're trying to find solutions, it keeps you from going into the weeds. For instance, there's this talk about reparations right now in regard to, atoning for America's past when it comes to racism, when it comes to chattel slavery. And we're talking about okay, so who are going to be the beneficiaries of it? How do we determine who receives, this bonus, whatever this bonus or whatever this is supposed to be, whatever reparations is supposed to be? How do we determine who's going to receive it? We inevitably have to legitimize a construct. We have to go back and say, okay, well, if you have one drop of black blood, who came up with that idea? Who came up with that rule? Who came up with that guideline in the determining, your racial identity? okay, well, if your skin is this dark, paper bag test, you have to employ racism to define racism. However, if you look at it as what it is, as this construct, and you recognize what the construct was created for, to create inequity, to create inequality between different groups, you can trace the impact of those policies without applying the construct. We have a measurement tool in this beautiful capitalist system, and that measurement tool is money. That's how we determine what literally has value, is how much money does someone or something have or doesn't have. So we recognize that this construct has disproportionately affected this group of individuals, and we can track that by looking at the value of the properties where these targeted populations exist. And then we can say, let's implement this policy that addresses this inequity here in regard to, redlining or red zoning, where basically, individuals of color were prevented from having homes in areas, where wealth was, appreciating. Right. So make a long story short, you can't win a war with the language of the enemy, with the weapons of the enemy. And what we've been programmed to accept, what we've been programmed to focus on, what we've been programmed to covet, is something that was never ours to begin with. And we retroactively apply it. There were no blacks in Egypt, but in our desire to covet what was literally beat into us, we're like, yes, Jesus was black and Egyptians were black and the first man was black. No, the construct just didn't fucking exist. It didn't. But we conflate that with our identity. That's the problem.
So what you saying? Okay, now I have I have an understanding of what you're saying. It's like before you were Egyptian, you were hold on, let's bring this all back in. Bam. Okay. Before you were Egyptian, before you were wherever you were from, you were Chinese, you were this. That wasn't exactly what the race is, because you were from the region that you were from, the region you were from.
Nationality was the thing. Nationality was the thing.
Right. So what I'm saying is this right here. So now, would you agree, as descendants of Africans and living in America, we don't actually have a nationality?
I would agree with that. So, I would agree that anybody in America who was born in America has the nationality of an American. Now, you may not be treated equitably, and your nationality actually validates your rage and your desire to be incorporated into this nation that you have to follow the rules and the guidance of. So by saying this is not my nation, this is not my country, you give up your ability to be angry at said country, because you're a foreigner at this point. So if you want to get into nationalism, you don't belong to this nation. You don't have any right to talk about how you've been beat, how you've been treated. You all were never ever part of this nation. No, I'm going to claim this nation so I can go and tell you to fuck off, because as a member of this nation, I deserve to be treated like every other member of this nation.
But they don't want us to be a part of the nation, but we are. We're integral part
exactly.
of it.
If you didn't want me to be part of this nation, maybe you should have
brought my ass
over here. But I'm here now, so I am entitled as part of this nation to everybody else who's in this nation. And if there's a discrepancy in that treatment, then we need to talk about why that discrepancy exists and how are you applying this term. And so if you're saying, well, because you're black, you don't ... Well, qualify that for me. Tell me what black is. Tell me what that means. And then we can start talking about how absurd it is. Mm-hmm. So you're saying, so if Barack Obama, he was half black, right?
Right.
So are we saying, are we negating the entire white part of him? Are you saying that his blackness, encompassed everything about him, nothing that came from his mother's side, who was also from Kansas, nothing that came from his mother's side, the person who raised him, contributed to who he is right now? Right. Is that what you're saying right now? But you'll see racists will gravitate toward that because they want to invalidate that other half of him as a line in the sand, a message subliminally to anybody who observes him and says he's an abomination. If you have a child with a black person, your purity is lost. And so you end up forwarding that narrative when you embrace him and say, yes, he's exclusively black.
I fuck with that.
So there's a bunch of ways we validate our own chains. It's like you're sitting here saying, yes, call me a nigger. I'll be your nigger. I'll go out and I'll do it. I'll say whatever you want me to say. I'll put it in my music. I'll shuffle and dance because, I'll embrace it with pride. I'll fight for it. If somebody else calls me that, I'll be outraged. But I will call it to my friends and my family. I'll share it around. And we do that same thing in regard to our blackness too.
But I'm saying it's like this, but we had to have something to hold on to. Will you agree with that? It's like
we got something. It's tribalism though. It's tribalism though. We're all on this same planet together. I'm not trying to be on some all lives matter shit. That's not what I'm talking about. As long as this construct exists, as long as there are people who believe in Christmas, as long as there's people who believe in race, as long as there are people who believe in racism, there's going to be effects to people believing in that construct. So I'm not on some, there will always be black people as long as we acknowledge that there's all these different categories. And when the census comes out every year, you got to check off what team you play for. As long as that exists, we have to acknowledge the repercussions of it. So I'm not saying that, but there is something bigger that we're failing to acknowledge and encompass when it comes to addressing humanity at large. The one thing that COVID is teaching us right now is fucking viruses don't give a damn how much melanin you have. Now, we can talk about systemic inequity and more black people dying, but we're also recognizing it's not because the virus likes black people more than anybody else. No, these people that have been relegated to this section of society are exposed more frequently than these other people over here. But this is the main reason why they don't want to keep track of how many people are getting infected and what communities are being addressed. Because if they do that, that means, oh shit, we got a problem. We've got to acknowledge it.
So American doesn't want to acknowledge. Well, I guess we on the same page. I fucks with everything you just said, brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad you came on. I'm glad you got your computer up. You know what I mean? You put gas in your computer and shit like that because you had to wind it up. Whatever you had to do to get the shit right, it was dope, man. So how did you hear about the show though?
I have a friend of mine who turned me on. She's on here pretty frequently. Artist friend of mine, Candy. She didn't want me to mention her, Candy Carver.
Oh, okay.
She's a mutual associate, I believe. But yeah, no, that's this is. I mean, I'm on here, Twitter, at Johnson Joe B. I'll put myself in a little bow. Yeah, I mean, I'm out here, and I've been talking about this issue for a while. Coming from Kansas, I grew up one of two black students, the graduating class of 250 students in Topeka. And so, I was born, having these discussions in regard, to race. My father worked on the Brown versus Board of Education decision out there in Topeka, the decision that was responsible for the desegregation of schools. He didn't work in the initial case with Thurgood Marshall. He worked on the follow-up case because basically they found that the actual policies that were supposed to end segregation were not being enacted. So another team of lawyers came through and said, Kansas is not doing what they said they were going to do in this previous situation. But I digress. I grew up in the school district that was founded by Klan members and white supremacists who didn't want their kids going to school with all the black kids. They didn't want it was a white flight community. So yeah, I mean, I grew up talking about this. I've been talking about this, for years, and it's just ironic that things are happening now in a way, that are allowing real meaningful dialogues to be had.
Oh yeah. So did you see the essay threw up a good point too that I want you to speak on real quick if you would. You know what I'm saying? As long as we keep in mind that the racist contract is an argument that most often use a silence of folk.
No. And you can counter that, but you can counter that argument really, really quickly while still validating the truth of race being a construct. You counter that argument by saying, you know what? Santa Claus, fat man, goes around, the world, and one night puts gifts in everybody's, living room magically. Everybody here acknowledges and knows who Santa Claus is, but we also acknowledge he's not real. Every single one of us in this chat is real. We all believe in Santa Claus. Even if Santa Claus isn't real, we all believe that people believe in him.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't invalidate. We can invalidate the existence of Santa Claus while acknowledging that we exist here and there are other people like us who believe in that myth. And that's what race is. It's a myth that individuals have literally killed and died for in order to protect a small section of the population within one demographic. Because that's another thing too. Racism isn't just about preserving whiteness. It's about preserving a narrow section of individuals within whiteness.
Hold on. Santa Claus is a character.
He is a character. I agree. But he's not.
And believe in him. I mean, it's more so like childhood type things, like no different than the Easter Bunny.
But he's real to a child.
A person of color or a person that's Asian or a Hispanic person, whether you want to break down that demographic of a person, the narrative of a person, of however you want to call it, that's a difference between a race. Like you can't put
you're conflating nationality, but you're conflating nationality with race.
Hold on, you can't put Santa Claus in the same category as nationality. That's a character.
No, I'll tell you why I can. The person Santa Claus, as he is, as the myth that we understand him to be right now, at one point there was a Saint Nicholas that did exist that turned into Santa Claus. There are Hispanics that existed, but the fact is they weren't always called Hispanics. There are people who are black, but I was not always called black. That's the thing. If I leave this country and I go to other places around the world, I'm not recognized as black.
What do you recognize as?
Whatever those people there in that country that choose to call me. Well, everybody in Brazil. Everybody in Brazil is technically black here.
Korean.
So what?
We couldn't hear you, Just.
If you go to Mexico, you're not going to be recognized as Mexican. If you go to Korea, you're not going to be recognized as Korean.
Well, I think I want to go with the argument of this right here. A rose, listen, is like I'm going to go Shakespeare with it right now. A rose by any other name is still a rose. You know what I'm saying? A rose by any other name is still a rose. We are, it doesn't matter if you call me, you know what I'm saying? Because I think we're arguing semantics a little bit here. You know what I mean? Where it's like, we're black, whatever you want to call yourself, please understand this group of people, because again, I'll go back to the point of what racism really is. It's the bastard child of classism. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's like this. So to be able to hinder on this is what we're dealing with. This is what we're dealing with. Yeah, we can fight that all day, but I think what we're doing is this right here. If we sit on, it's an excellent point that you're making, Brandon, and I'm not trying to do that. But if we sit here and argue about don't call me black, I don't care what you call me. Everybody that looked like me, everybody that came that was shipped over here on the boats, and everybody that descended from those people that were shipped on the boats, and everybody that descended from civil rights and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they want to put us in a group of black. Okay, put us in a group of black. But at the end of the day, I'm worried about you treating my group of people fairly. You know what I'm saying? Because we could say this right. Let's take this away from America, because we can see classism in India. You got the untouchables. You got the different classes of, of people depending on the religion and everything like that. So we could do that, and all those people look exactly like. And we can all agree, if you go to India, the way this box look, these boxes look, it's every shade of we're every shade over there, right? They're every shade over there. So what I'm saying is this right here. I think when we don't want to muddy up the water by saying that, all right, don't call me black or whatever. No, whatever group of people they're calling us, because they call somebody something else from whatever, whether it be Moors, whether it be black, whether it be ninjas, whether it be fucking Wakandans, whatever the fuck you call us. In your place, treat us fairly. Treat everybody, my ancestors fairly. You know what I'm saying? And give me my motherfucking reparations. Because
I agree wholeheartedly. And I'm not saying the main thing that race does most effectively when it comes to dividing people, we talk about dividing. It's not just, police brutality. Those are the extreme representations of the division that we're talking about.
Right.
It's stuff like this right here, right now, this conversation, which is a good conversation that we had. I'm not saying this is a bad conversation that's being had here at all. What I'm saying is we have spent about an hour just discussing the construct while we are sitting here talking about who's what and what makes somebody this, and this person has a child with this person over here, what tribe they play for, and how much we're going to give, whatever, while we're busy here and playing this bullshit shell game. The people who have created this construct, they're over here doing bigger shell games. So while we're busy over here fighting about like who's Mexican and who's black and who's Muslim and who's a terrorist and who, it's all that stuff is designed to separate us, while the people over here are consolidated in their beliefs that we really don't care who any of these people over here are. Right. We'll make fun. We'll call them names all day long. We'll have labels for every single category under the sun. And then whenever, they hear roll calls, whenever you hear Donald Trump talk about Kung Flu, black people are like, oh, he ain't talking about us. But let them say nigger. Oh, we got a problem now. Then the Asians are like, well, what happened? He just said Kung Flu. You weren't there about that. What happened to Asian lives mattering? And then then the pettiness kicks in. And then as the pettiness is advanced and forwarded and whatnot, these people over here are giving themselves $1 billion bailouts and bullshit.
Right.
So basically what you're saying is that it's not about race at all, it's about economics.
Exactly. That's the whole reason race was invented. Yeah, that's the whole reason race was invented.
Like, no, I'm saying
like European colonialism.
It's a lot more poor people than it is rich people. And then, you know what I'm saying, if you break it down, again, that's why I said it's all about classism. It's about
I agree. That's what I said. I wholeheartedly agree.
Keeping the poor against each other.
Exactly.
But in the same token, when you keep the poor at each other, when you start focusing on one half of the poor people or one part of the poor people, and you are putting in laws and shit and shooting the fuck out of these people, and you're saying, and whatever, I don't care what you call these people, those people have a right to say what we did as black people, because we wasn't calling each other black until the 60s, 70s, when the Black Panthers and that movement was coming out. We labeled ourselves what we wanted to label ourselves. They didn't call us black. They were out here still calling us Negroes and everything else, or colored. We said, nah, we're black. So with that foundation that we're standing on, that is our nationality. We are Black Americans, if you want to talk about it, because we said y'all took our history away from us because we don't know what tribe we originate from. You can't, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if my people's are Sudanese or if they're from Cameroon. I don't know. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? We could do a DNA test and they're like, well, you could be from the Ivory Coast or you could be from South Africa. We don't know. So what we said was we're tired of not knowing. So from this point, we had to build our foundation on something, because as descendants of slaves, we don't have a nationality. So we said we're going to be black, and this is what it is. So guess what? This is our step to the. It's kind of like we can't build our foundation on sand. So this is the bedrock. We're black, and I think that's what we did when we did that. When they said we're black, and then we had to move forward from that. And then, unfortunately, you know what I'm saying, our white counterparts, because we start calling them white. You know what I'm saying? Our white counterparts, You know what I'm saying? They built the racism from that point. Well, they've always been racist when these niggas and all that shit, Negroes and colored and all that stuff. But we said, all right, we stopping all that bullshit. We want to be called black. Call us black. And they switched it up, and now we're trying to move forward. But arguing about, like, yeah, we could say, yeah, racism is a construct. Everything's construct. You know what I mean? Your shirt is constructed.
Yep. Religion's a construct. Sexuality is a construct. Exactly. We got constructs all day long. And the thing is, it's the exploitation of those constructs that allows authoritarians to insert their mandates, to insert that division necessary. That's the problem. Is like whenever you start galvanizing behind these terms created by authoritarians, you contribute to the division. Like, for instance, there are poor white people being affected by authoritarian policies in a negative way because of COVID, because of laws in regard to drugs. We're seeing, basically the opiate addiction crisis or whatever. Those people are being affected in ways that they weren't being affected before, and being exploited by people with money,
right?
Who also happen to be white.
Against the poor, we could agree with that.
Exactly.
Against the poor. You know what I'm saying?
Whenever it comes to speaking and forming alliances, then you go up and you're speaking the language of the enemy. That I'm this over here, I'm separate from you over there. Then at some point, tribalism kicks in. It's innate, it's programmed tribalism. We receive the tribe whenever we are born that we belong to, and then we are told to fight other people in the name of that tribe, and don't let another tribe win, protect your tribe at all costs. And so when it comes to building alliances, when it comes to building coalitions, this is what Martin Luther King was trying to do in the end when he was assassinated. This is what Malcolm X was trying to do after he went over to Mecca and saw everybody of all different kinds of nationalities. This is the main reason why Reverend Barber is trying to do the poor people's campaign. He's not trying to do the black people's campaign. He's trying to do the poor people's campaign because at one point they all realized, holy shit, this is about economics. All these other labels are being used to deflect and make us battle one another. So now I'm concerned about the gays getting more than the blacks are getting, than the Muslims are getting. No, the people are getting screwed over. Look like everybody. They come from all backgrounds.
Got you. All right, bet. We appreciate you coming on.
Yo, appreciate you so much.
Anybody highlight, tell them where they can highlight you on your social media.
At Johnson Joe B. Just hit me up. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Shout out. Thanks for having me on, fellas.
Hey, man, no problem, man.
Appreciate you.
Yo, that's weird. This no, don't do that. That's weird. No, get out of no, don't do it. Don't do that. Thank you, P. Got us too close together. I felt like my face was touching your face. Yo, shout out to Brandon, man. Yo, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Brandon for that perspective. I see where you're coming from. Like I like different perspectives. It's a dope perspective, dope foundational joint. It's other things we can talk about. I hope Brandon comes back. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man. Let's do it, man. So what we talk about right now, and he also hit the bong right on the air, you know what I'm saying? So,
everybody that's in here right now, appreciate y'all, viewing. Yes. And we just want to be open-minded to everybody's perspective, opinion, and what they got to say. So if you have something that you have to say and you want to speak your mind, we will bring you on.
Especially if it's
had to be respectful. But we still have to be respected at the time, and we're not gonna have you on, so long. Like, what I'm saying? We don't mind having dialogue. We don't mind having a conversation, but we'll let you say what you gotta say, and then we'll just go from there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But we want to be open-minded and let everyone, if you have a voice and you want to say something, you know what I'm saying? Let us know. And we don't have a problem with everyone saying what they got to say. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
All right, we'll continue on.
So let's move to something light, man. That was kind of heavy.
I got a good one too. I got a good because I'm saying I got a good. Go ahead, Pete. Go ahead, Pete. Tell us what you got for us, Pete. I'm not gonna step on your toes, good brother.
So
What up, Eric?
What up, Eric?
What's up, Eric, man? So let's switch things up. Let's talk about TV. Let's talk about commercials. Has anyone seen the Gyro commercial?
Listen, Gyro commercial. Ooh, Does it not make
I need
you
to get some gyros right now.
Whoa,
You know what? I want to do a commercial for Cosmic Cantina, just cause.
Just
Right.
Just
Yo,
'cause.
You know, I got the commercial. Y'all, can I play the commercial?
Listen, what I want to do. Hey, yo, Intelligent Ratchet, I want, because you know I do this
You
thing.
only play a little bit of it. I ain't
Oh,
trying
gotcha.
to get nobody airplay.
Right, but
So
listen, what I want to do is this right here. I want y'all, because I do this thing when I break down a meme. I want y'all to see everything that's wrong with this commercial. You know what I'm saying? Everything is wrong with the commercial right now. Go ahead, just play it. Just play it real quick.
All right, we'll play it real quick. Here we go.
Well, the first thing that's wrong is that P9 is playing it.
Can you play it? Does it play loud?
Then turn it up.
Yeah. I can't hear it.
Can y'all hear it now?
No, can't nobody hear nothing you doing right now, P9.
I can hear it on my end. Hold on.
The nigga ain't got no shoes on.
Matter of fact, we ain't got here. I'll tell y'all on YouTube. That way that'll save us from getting sued in the future.
Right.
He don't.
Y'all can still look at it.
He don't have shoes on.
How don't you look? He reads like okay. First of all, his you know what I mean. If you go do the joint without no shoes on, like first of all, make sure your sweatpants is evened up. Why your sweatpants
past the ankles?
Why your sweatpants ain't like why your sweatpants tucked in your socks on one side? You know what I'm saying? It looked like he just woke up. It looked like he got in those sweatpants.
You know what? Been washed. Like everybody was like, "Yo, we got this bag real quick. I need you to do this commercial." You know what I'm saying? Like
basically,
they paid that dude in a gallon bag of lamb meat. That's what they paid that. They gave no money for that.
Yo, it looked like Cosby came and said, "Yo, Bishop,
I got this idea."
Yo,
like, I need you to go on here real quick. I'm gonna put a green screen up, and I just need you to talk some stuff about this Greek food you ain't never had before.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, yo, like he wasn't
like, I don't even think he's been to Greece. Like he ain't been to Santorini. He ain't been to Athens. I don't believe none of it. Like this is Fire Festival for a Greek restaurant commercial.
Like, and then what was this?
Yo, just this part right here when he was like, "Ja Rule, like, why are y'all? Why? First of all, why? Where did this come from? Like, you know what I'm saying? What does this have to do with, you know what I'm saying, with the Greek restaurant? Because you got a rapper in here, you got to make the dude to own the joint and DJ?
I guess so. So let me give you a little backstory. I had to do some research before the show. And apparently, Ja Rule was trying to use, I'm getting this off the screen, hold on. Ja Rule was trying to use his notoriety to help some local businesses.
Okay.
And apparently this young fella, this business got started by his father, and I think he was in the 40s. And then by the time this commercial happened, he said he had been running the spot for 55 years himself already.
Right.
If my math is correct, that's what he mentioned in the backstory. And
he don't need no promotion.
Huh?
If he's there for 55 years, he don't need promotion.
Well, here's what the thing is. He's still a local business. So
right.
The smaller local businesses are all struggling, considering.
Look.
So Ja Rule said,
I go to Max's. Hold on. I'm from Philly. And every time I go home, I go to Max's for a cheesesteak.
Right.
Ain't no commercial on TV talking about go to Max's. It's just a spot that you go to. Like you already know.
Right.
Like no promotion.
But if
you've been there 55 years, you don't need no promotion for no Greek food.
Yo, what I'm saying is this right here. If I'm fresh there and I'm looking for a spot and I'm looking for a Greek restaurant to trust, I'm trusting the Ja Rule's Greek spot. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think. It's like this because it's Ja Rule, man. You got to believe in the rule. You know what I'm saying? He got some hits. R-U-L-E. Who said it? Ja Rule. I just have a problem with this right here. I don't mind Ja Rule using his celebrity because I would do the same thing. I would go out. You know, I big up Just Face. I would big up, I big up everybody. I use my notoriety to do that joint. But one thing I'm not going to do, I am not going to ever do a commercial without no shoes on. I think if any commercial or whatever, unless you're on the beach.
That's how you know he ain't taking serious. Like I told you, he ain't had no shoes on.
He ain't got no shoes on the green.
He hit him real quick and was like, yo, we need this bag.
Why you have white
socks? Talk about this Greek wrestler
right here. Why you gonna have when I'm gonna say this right here? When you got black on, you have to know this, Ja Rule, because you made millions of dollars. When you have black on, you got to make sure your blacks match up, because it was like you can't wear sweatpants you done washed 3 times and then put on a fresh t-shirts.
Let's talk about it.
Two different. He got an old Under Armour sweatpants that he had been wearing for like 6 months. Like
he just took his shoes off. He just took his shoes off. He had a pair of Jordans. Look how ashy them socks is, Ja Rule. And yet, why are you standing in the main street? What is going on?
You know how bad it is that you got to have ashy socks.
Just put on white socks. Just put on white socks. Go put your shoes on.
He could put no Huaraches on, no air. You know what I'm saying? No Jordan 1s on. Nothing.
God, man. Like
Ja didn't think he didn't think y'all was gonna notice, man. That's what it was.
Man, I knew.
He set the green screen up in front of his pool, shot this video, and he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna kill him with this one."
You know what? You want to get the bag however you can. You know what I'm saying? He could very well.
They paid him in gyros, man. They ain't paid that dude no money. They paid that dude in cheese, man, which is delicious.
They could have been like, "Yo, I'm gonna do this joint crazy, and I'm gonna do this joint with no shoes on, and it's going to draw some attention."
Yo, when I'm gonna say this right here, I hope, and because this has been shared a lot. I hope they run out of whatever. I hope they run out of all the pita bread in that mug. I hope people go in that mug and eat it up. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
I hope there can't be one goddamn gyro, no tomatoes left after this joint came out. Shout out to them. I hope Giannis. I hope Giannis comes and buys the store too. You know what I'm saying? They could have asked Giannis. Giannis would have did that shit.
He was better than Ja Rule.
Giannis and Ja Rule, man.
Dang. All I know is that Ja Rule better. I say somebody put in the comments that Ja Rule was dropping a mixtape. I hope that's true. I hope he got some behind this.
About Greek food too.
No, he's not.
Like first of all, like I want to say this. I want to be really serious. I want to be serious about this real quick. We have got to stop shitting on Ja Rule. Like Ja Rule ain't got hits.
Ja Rule got plenty hits.
Like we wasn't fucking with Ja Rule hard body. Don't fuck around like you wasn't on Vinny Vidi Vici.
I mean, he was one of the prominent rapper singer. Yeah, like on a hook. You know what I'm saying? He was Eric Sermon. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
I don't know if that's a diss or not. When you said he's like Eric Sermon, is that like a good thing or bad thing?
He was one of the first to do it like that. That's what I'm saying. Regardless of if it was successful or not, he was one of the people that do it in that capacity.
Right.
But I mean, you gotta think, Ja Rule. I mean, when he came out, I think it was 2001 was 2000 was his first album.
2001, 2002.
But I mean, you gotta think about it. It says Always on Time, It's Murder, Mesmerized, Living It Up. This dude put what was the joint he had? He had Bobby Brown on one of these songs.
Right. I mean,
R. Kelly, Ashanti. Everybody.
And 50s stole his style and made it popular. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't knock from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not knocking from it at all.
Yo, listen, we will not disrespect. We will not disrespect.
Nobody on no gyros right now.
Don't do what, Keisha? Don't do what? Ja Rule has some hits. You know what?
Ja Rule is Ja Rule's. If we giving cats goats, Ja Rule's a goat. Because he's selling pizzas. It's going
No. No.
All right, you know what? If Ja Rule is a GOAT, outside of the pita joke, we'll give him from 2000. We'll give him from 2001 to 2003. Because then 50 started ruining him around that time. We can be honest about that much.
When I'm gonna say this right here, like
Ja Rule coming right now, I DJ for him. So Ja,
Ja Rule got one of the better hip hop voices out there, man. You know what I'm saying? As a person, you know what I'm saying? Ja Rule has a great hip hop voice, and I fucking love Ja Rule. Him and Nine. That's who we need to get. We need. Can somebody find Nine? Can we get Nine on this show?
Sheesh, I'm talking about the singing and rapping part, not the production or anything like that, but the singing rapping part. He's a Eric Sermon, because Eric Sermon was the first to do it, and I'm sure there's other ones to do it too. But when it comes to mine, that's what he was.
Eric Sermon.
I mean, because you had like in the EPMD era, you had Eric Sermon. He was really on some. I'm so amazing. He would really sing on some parts. You know.
Yeah. I feel you. He was singing them terribly,
horribly.
But at least Ja had the voice when he's. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we need to find Nine though. I think we need to give Nine his joint and MC Brains. Like if we could get Nine and MC Brains on Intelligently Ratchet, can we do that, P? Now through your connections with Chick-fil-A?
With Chick-fil-A.
Oh man, let me stop.
I would shit if we got MC Brains on this shit. Like yo, if y'all gonna find this MC Brains number, yo, we want him on like Nine. But Nine, man, I remember Nine, man. That's
he's a legend.
Huh?
He's a legend.
He's a legend.
Ja Rule? Oh yeah.
No, Nine.
Oh, Nine. Okay.
Nine's a legend.
I mean, we give Ja Rule his flowers. He's a legend in his own right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He made the singing on the hook like popular, even though 50 tried to take it from him, but he made it popular. You know what I'm saying?
Right. He took it.
He took it. Like I think bar for bar, I think Ja Rule might be a better rapper than 52, if I remember.
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah, I think Ja Rule can put together a better bar. You know what I'm saying? Because that joint was like the one that started off like dun dun doo 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 doo. With Jay and DMX on that joint, he held the shit. It's murder.
No. You can't. No. Hold on. You had to say with Jay. Let's do a song without Jay and compare it. Like bar for bar is Ja Rule better than 50.
Than 50. I gotta go back. I gotta go back and listen to some more Ja Rule shit without no singing on it.
Ratchet's here, regardless if it's singing, but Ratchet's here.
I need to have a bar because I like me because you can't get Barry on a club joint. You can't be like what I mean. I got everybody pop bottles, girls with the nipples out. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I need some street shit. I need some tell me how you sell crack, son. You know what I'm saying? I need that shit. You know what I'm saying? I need
that's the case. I'm gonna go 50 just by
exactly.
Because he was more believable.
Because you said without it being all singy, then it's got to be 50. Yeah, he did some melodies, but he was more. It was a lot more aggressive. Unless you're talking about. I mean, even Ja Rule's New York.
Which I can't see. Come on now, I'm trying to be up there, and niggas want to take my life away. Come on now. What did Ja Rule have anything close to that?
Yeah, he has some shit.
Now, okay.
Do it. What did he have? Go ahead.
I'm talking about. See what y'all talk about. Y'all talk about the hook. I'm talking about when you get into the technical. When you get and see, because this is where we mess up when we talk about MCs. Okay. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about this. Because this is where people get messed up when we talk about MCs and the whole Eminem argument, the whole, you know what I'm saying, whoever you don't like, the super lyrical, right? Black Thought argument and all that stuff. It's like this. There's certain.
I don't remember half of Black Thought's rhymes, but I know he is one of the GOATs. He is your favorite MC's favorite MC.
Right. So what I'm saying is that when you get in those levels, it's like when you have to sit there and write down a bar and intricately put these bars together, you know what I'm saying? I think that, you know, that's where we're missing out, because we're trying to keep it. We're trying to keep it. So what I'm gonna say? We're trying to keep it. So how did the song make me feel? I'm like, fuck the way the song made me feel. How do these bars make me feel? You know what I'm saying? If you get in it,
you're saying Ja Rule has better bars than 50.
I'm saying that Ja Rule possibly has better bars than 50. If I remember,
Possibly.
Again,
But
I'm saying this right here.
You have any bars to back up what you're saying?
No, I'm not a Ja Rule fan. I'm just saying that Ja Rule
50 bars.
You know what I'm saying?
So I think 50 has better bars.
We'll do a 50 Ja Rule battle off.
We'll do a versus battle, 50 Ja Rule.
You want to do a versus battle
50 Ja.
On Saturday?
Let's do it. Okay. Let's do all B, but no hits, all B sides. we play a track.
Yo, Keisha, I'm with you.
None of the remember tracks.
All right, y'all. Saturday. What time?
What's up? 7. Want to do 7?
7 o'clock.
5
Saturday, 7 o'clock. We're gonna do 50 versus Ja Rule.
Ja Rule B-side battle. We're gonna find all the old shit that never made it to albums.
Exactly. You said wait. What? Never made it to albums?
I'm talking about mixtape.
You're talking about mixtape joints.
Mixtape joints. I'm talking about track number 7. Okay. We gotta play the track number 7s and 8s.
Okay. Got you.
Yo, before we move on, let me ask y'all real quick. If we're comparing Ja and 50, since they're always gonna be linked together, who had the better crew as far as like hits around them? You gonna say G Unit was better, or you gonna say
G Unit was a better crew because the Murder Inc. motherfucker? No, because Ashanti was a part of Murder Inc.
Ashanti is Murder Inc. So I mean, she had what?
Okay.
She had like 8 albums with hits.
So who else was part of Murder Inc?
Who else was part of Murder Inc? You had
like
Ashanti, Charlie
Black
Baltimore.
No, G Unit
and the crew.
So yeah, Banks, Yayo, Young Buck, Olivia.
That's it. Olivia. Like, you don't need nobody.
At one point you had Mobb Deep. At one point you had MOP.
At one point you had MOP, you had Lloyd. Like
G Unit is the better all around group, because G Unit mixtapes were better. You know what I'm saying? G Unit is going to be the all around better round group. You know what I mean? Better art. Like, honestly, if you want to talk about it, 50 Cent is the better artist than Ja Rule. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? On leaps and bounds.
Don't try to show that for like a millisecond. Right. Nobody don't want to hear no Ja Rule.
I forgot about Lloyd. Candace, thank you.
I said Lloyd.
He did say Lloyd.
Did you? Oh, I said Lloyd Banks. I didn't hear you say Lloyd. My bad.
You don't be listening. You're not a good producer.
You're not a good producer, B.
You need a better mic. That's what you need.
You are absolutely right.
Nigga, do you really want to go there?
Oh! It's like that, Just. You had to cut the heads inside, man. All right, my bad. I retract previous statement.
Oh, shit.
Just gonna put me on national TV, man. What's up with that?
all I'm gonna say is this right here. You know the nigga that's running on 3G right now. You know what I'm saying?
I am on an old ass HP laptop.
That joint is on 2D.
Yo, I got 120p. Like
But shout out, but I'm gonna say this right here. I do think shout out to Joe Buttons though for Murder and Murder Inc. Not Murder and Murder Inc. but Murder and G Unit hands down when they had game on the joint. So the Mood Musics, you know what I'm saying, single-handedly my homeboy, one of my favorite rappers of all time, Joe Buttons, did give it to the G Unit situation. P, you said you had something else to talk about real quick?
No, I want to answer. Go ahead.
You think?
So okay, here's another one, and I need the Ratcheteers in this one too. This is I seen this on Facebook, and I like to share this shit. Okay, this was the question on Facebook. All right, you're at work, you get a call. You're at work, you get a call, and someone is saying someone's in your house having sex with your mate. Do you leave work? I want before the panel, before Intelligently Ratchet answers, I want the panel or the Ratcheteers, our guest, to answer. Are you leaving work?
Ratcheteers, what you think?
What you think?
You,
you get the call. Somebody calls you. Somebody called you. You know what I'm saying? Boom.
Ratcheteers, what do you think?
What do you think?
Listen,
are you leaving work?
You got a notification that your significant other, your partner, whoever it is.
She said, "Nah."
Having
the cops.
I like the way you think, Layla.
You leaving work? There it is. Are you leaving work? Like, no. It said no, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get. Let's get a couple more comments in this joint. If anybody's still in this joint, are you leaving? Are you gonna leave work? Are you leaving work? You get the call. I call you up. You know what I'm saying? You just hear the voice on the phone. Listen. Daniel was at the crib smashing. Are you leaving work? You know what? I said, first of all,
what you doing? What you doing, P9?
What you doing, P9? P9 was getting the guns. You know P9 gonna come in and shoot everything up.
Nah, listen. If I were to get a call like that, I'm not leaving. For what? What am I leaving work for?
You're not leaving work. Okay.
Like if somebody cheating on you, you leaving work, you missing out on your money. So like, I'm gonna get home eventually, and when I get there, it's gonna be problems then. But I ain't gonna leave work to come home. Then you see what I'm saying? That can wait.
Yo, see, I think a little different.
Anything, man. Nah. First of all, that ain't gonna happen. But if it did,
why is it? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like this. It's like it got to be a trusted source, right? There's got to be a trusted source. Like who? And then my thing is right here. Why are you at my crib anyway, looking in my windows to see what's going on in my goddamn house anyway? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? I'm not leaving. But I'm leaving work for. Like, I'm like P. Like, when I'm leaving, the way my PTO set up, I think I'm going to need this PTO because it don't roll over. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to need this shit for divorce court or for this time I'm about to do over the weekend. You know what I'm saying?
I'm leaving because first and foremost, I got Ring and I got cameras, so I'm gonna find out. Somebody at my house, regardless.
Yo, Brandon said he calling ICE.
I'm out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to help you pack.
Oh man,
that's all. I'm expediting the moving process.
I don't know, man. I'm like this.
Hey, bro, since you're here, you might as well just grab her dresser and get her shit out because she, you know what I'm saying? She needs somewhere to stay.
Oh man, like at the crib, like I think it's like this, like yo, like B. I'm not coming like for real. Like I'm not leaving work because what if you're having a good day at work? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm having a great friend. I'm not gonna ruin my weekend with this bullshit.
Oh, I'm out. I'm out.
You out?
I ain't about to be on no, but hey, baby, what you doing? You know what I'm saying? I miss you so much that I watched you today. Yeah, I saw you motherfucker in the house. I ain't about to be on no. I don't want to be on that. I'm coming to the crib and I'm being like, yo, since you here, you might just pack up a box and help her pack up. You know what I'm saying? Like she gonna need somewhere to stay. You know, saying like,
but see, and it's never
Hey.
the dude. Huh?
Hey! Don't touch that coat. Just over here sounding like the Juice Man.
I should
I
plant
saw
my
you and him walking in the rain.
that's what I'm saying. Like
This just showed us when he walking up to the joint, just walking up to the front door
like I'm straight, bro. Yo,
Oh man, that's hilarious.
like yo, hey, bro. You know what? Hey, I'm gonna give you extra $40 if you help me pack this stuff up, and get it out the crib. Man.
Wow. You done turned the side dude into the moving man. Good Lord.
Hey,
Okay, since
you utilizing your resources. Why can't you mad at that?
Exactly. That's an extra meal right now. I ain't got to pack nothing.
First of all, as a side dude, one thing you a savage anyway. You know what I'm saying? That's what get most side dudes shot. Cause you a fucking savage. You're in this man's house. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like B, like, yo, I'm not coming to, you know, as a side dude, it's certain rules to be a good side dude. First of all, you never said
as a professional side dude, there's certain things you don't do.
You don't come to the house.
You don't go out of bounds. You stay within your territory. You know what I'm saying? Like a smart dude is gonna be like, hey, we're gonna meet over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna come over there and risk getting shot because I don't know where you keep the guns in the house.
Exactly.
So, there you go.
Do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna fall into those situations. I don't know where he's gonna come from.
Right.
I don't know. He's gonna take break, but he don't know necessarily where I stay. So if he come over here, then I do some shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go over there and not know he coming home on a humbug. Hey, I want to surprise my baby. No, I ain't doing that.
That's how you get shot. You don't go to the house as a side dude. You know what I'm saying? You respect that because you the side dude. You know what I'm saying? But you need to do.
I mean, look, lessons learned. You know what I'm saying? Like I know, you know, it is what it's like. Yo, you don't go over there. You make them come over there, yeah, because
and ladies, if you out here procuring. I'm sorry, just go ahead. I'm sorry. I sound like I cut you off.
They're not supposed to know nothing about you.
Right.
The dude is anyway. You know what I'm saying? So
it
is what it is. Like, you know, you cool.
And ladies, if you're out here procuring, if you're gonna be out here procuring a side dude, and he asks you to go to your house, you chop him off because that nigga's crazy. You know what I mean? He's not a good side dude. He should never.
Now, if you stay in an apartment, now it's situations. If you stay in an apartment, it's cool. Anybody can be parked there. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna necessarily know your car.
Right.
But if you stayed in a crib, townhouse, whatever little subdivision, I ain't about to park in front of your crib and they see another car parked there, then it's something else that they.
I'm too grown. I'm too grown to be jumping through your bushes. Through the backyard.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
Those right there for the side dudes of America.
Now I got poison ivy on my left muscle. You know what I'm saying?
Because I'm out here.
Because I'm out here.
Give your groove back, Stella.
Right. I'm out here in some ball shorts and a wife beater.
Right.
Looking crazy.
Out here looking crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
I know
wait for him to go in the house so I can creep around the side so I can run in my car real quick. And then you can't even start the car right away. You gotta wait until it's like, okay, she's talking to him. Okay, I can start my car up and just drive off. Yes. Like, you know, it's too much.
Too much. So let's talk. We're gonna jump on. We gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about Corona. Delta just dropped in no joint. Said Delta Airlines just recently had 500 employees test positive for the Corona virus.
Right. That's why I fly American.
And God damn it! And 10 people have died on that joint. Like, oh man, are we? Cool. I'm so serious about not being ready to come out, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're gonna package that in with the whole Roy Cooper saying we got to wear a mask outside. And what I'm gonna say about that is like for the people that like, yo, I don't wear mask outside, and and everything like that. Like what I'm gonna say is this right here. Wearing the mask, because you're like, it don't work. Because people say the mask don't work. Okay. What I'm saying is right here. If you do this, if we get dirty water, you know, if we get dirty water right now, and we just run it through a faucet, huh?
All right. I don't wear protection, so I ain't worried about no.
You out here hitting it wrong. But no, for the ones that care about our health, you know what I'm saying? So if you want dirty water through one filter, right? It's still gonna be a little bit dirty. But if you run it through two filters, then it cleans the water up. So it's less, you know what I mean? If you can understand how that process works, then wearing the mask works, because if there's someone like D.L. Hughley that's asymptomatic, you know what I'm saying, and they happen to cough in their mask, it stops some of the particles from
wearing two
from flourishing out. It slows out the particles. That's what I'm saying is right here. And then if you happen to be close enough to breathe those particles in, then you also have a filter that's further slowing down the amount of particles that are happening. So that's what I'm saying. Like, go ahead and wear your mask, or stay your ass in the house. It really, you know what I'm saying? It's like this. It's like, you can't wear a mask because you can't breathe. I feel for you. Well, stay your ass in the house, or get with you some people that can't wear a mask and have them run your shit for you. You know what I'm saying? Go with GoPuff. You know what I'm saying? Get you some Grubhub. You know what I mean? Get some delivery services from the grocery stores or something like that. If your ass can't not just put on a mask for like 5 seconds, like if you're in a store, it's not that uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like if my fat ass can breathe in my mask, you can breathe in yours. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you're not going to be out there for a prolonged time. And that's what you have to do. It's a new normal just to get this shit down so we could come back outside without masks. I think it's a small sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? I'll leave it up to y'all. That's just Bishop Omega's opinion on it.
So, Resh, here's what you guys think. If you're in North Carolina, I guess you don't have much of a choice now, but how do you all feel about wearing your mask outside or in any public scenario, whether you go into a ball game, if there is any ball games out here, I'm sure there are somewhere. If you go into to the grocery store, to the swap meet, wherever you're going, wearing a mask.
Yeah, just wear the mask. Like I don't see a problem with it. Be a hero. You know what I'm saying? You're preventing yourself from potentially infecting somebody else. Wear the fucking mask, man. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? You might save somebody's life. Or you could come over to one of your homeboys' house and, you know what I'm saying, you cough, and then, you know what I'm saying, they brother walk through your cough a little bit, and now she got coronavirus. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on now. And you could have prevented that by wearing a mask. You know what I'm saying? Just strap your face up, man. You know what I'm saying?
And just to clarify, for the mandatory mask order, it was for any public gathering, correct? So, like, say you at, I don't know, Pullen Park. Are you supposed to wear it in those situations as well, or that was all interior things?
I think it's supposed to be like any gathering that you're going to be around a bunch of people. Like, put your fucking mask on. Like, it's just common sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially indoors. Especially if you're going indoors, man. Just if it's not open, I can see. Okay, if you open, I can see you're saying like, yo, I'm going to the park and I'm in my corner of the park and I take my mask off so I can breathe better. Fine, I'm good with that. You're jogging, you're away from people, you're doing like you got 20 feet of distance from somebody, and you take your mask off. Fine, I'm not asking you to wear it all the time, but I'm asking you, if we go on a Food Lion, I don't want to have to walk through your motherfucking open ass cough. You know what I'm saying? You cough on aisle 3, I walk into the shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that shit on me. You know what I mean? Like, yo, you know what I mean? It's one of those situations. If you're gonna be in close space, at least do it for that point. Because you're at a closer place. And guess what? If you would have been fucking wearing your mask in the first place, we wouldn't be here right now. It's cause and effect. We would be already in stage 3 if your punk ass would have wore your mask when they told you to wear your mask. You can fight me on that one. I don't care.
Said inside and outside.
Yep.
So you don't have to wear it when you're exercising outside. Thank you, Len.
So thanks, Len. So what I'm saying is this right here. So if you don't want to wear your mask, you better be getting in shape. you should be the people that don't want to wear masks should be some of the sexiest motherfuckers that come out of this. Your body should be good. You should have that beach body when you come out. No shirt summer 2021.
But I'm saying, you say they fight you gonna fight with a mask on or no?
Yo, listen, I'm fighting with a mask on because I said, yo, I bite people when I'm fighting. So that's what I'm saying. You fuck around to fight me, I'm biting the shit out you. So you better hope I got a mask on. I'm not fighting you, Fed. I'm gonna try to bite your nose off and chew it. We going down together.
She said she only been out once. Like, are you okay? Do you have fresh air in there in your house like right now? Like, what?
Yeah, she's saying she ain't been outside.
What HEPA filters do you have? Like,
she never been out.
I'm concerned.
Princess got all the guns. She in the joint, you know what I'm saying? You go by her house, she got an old school bus flipped over in the front yard with spikes on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, B, you ain't come up in here with that shit. Shout out to Prince. I'm with you, boo. I'm with you. Princess said, yo, I ain't been out. Yo, fuck that. I'm scared, man. I'm scared. I ain't had my physical this year yet. Yeah, fuck, man, my physical, baby. Fuck that. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
You ain't been tested for COVID? So you might be asymptomatic. You don't even know.
Like at the end of the day, I ain't get tested because I ain't been nowhere. That's what I'm saying. I ain't gotta be.
Oh, you need to go get tested then.
Huh?
Hey, Nita, get tested.
Nita need to do. You know what I'm saying? Sure. I don't need to be nowhere near nobody.
I'm good. I'm straight. Like,
I know you gotta get tested every day.
No, not that kind of tested. Like, you gotta get vetted, but like they'll do the joints, and that shit ain't comfortable. Like, they stick the joint, you feel like in the back of your eye, like it's almost in your brain. I don't like that
because they use the cotton swab they used to test with STDs.
Yeah, like, they're like getting rotted. Like, I'm cool. Like, I'm good on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, thank you.
Men know that, you know what I'm saying? If you ever got an STD screening, boy, you know that cotton swab be like that long. You so that shit, you shit like
that. Bro, man.
No, you ain't boy.
If any person like you should only have to go through that once to be like, you know what? I never want to go through this again. So since I don't want to go through this again, I want to keep my life straight. Like, right. I got to stay straight out of that. Like, I'm cool. Like,
nope. Super Gucci.
I'm talking about shooting up clubs and what I'm saying, only coming out with nobody, but I'm cool with that. Like,
nope, and no.
No.
Good.
Like,
Right.
I'm on the Matumba. Like, not today. Like, no. Like, all I gotta do is learn once. Like, I'm cool.
That is
cool, Jack.
So how long? What's because I thought like at the beginning of the show, right? We were talking about how we thought that Corona would be over by summertime, like this time, like by summertime. It doesn't look like
it ain't gonna be over till next year. This time next year.
This time next year. Going into the summer. Although I think there's gonna be a lot of. I mean, they extended. What is this? Not season 2. What phase 2? So they extended phase 2. But I think by the time we hit Christmas this year, that there'll be some restrictions, like the new normal, if you will. But like it'll pretty much already be the way that the life that we remember, as far as massive amounts of people being in places. But then it'll taper off, and then I think that's why I said summer of next year it'll be full blown. There'll be no more. People still wear masks, in my opinion, just because they've gotten used to it. But
right.
It won't be required. It'll just be, hey, if you want to wear them, you can wear them. In my opinion, I could be wrong. This is recorded. We can always reference this later on. But I think, like I said, I think December of this year By the time we hit true Christmas season, shopping, all that good stuff, Thanksgiving, Christmas, that it'll be most of the restrictions will already be lifted. And like I said, you can have however many people you decide in any given space. They'll probably just have you wear a mask, and that'd be the end of it. But that's my opinion. We'll see.
That shit. I think it might work. You know what I'm saying? So then we're gonna talk about your homeboy Donald Trump saying that he made Juneteenth popular.
We give this guy some shine. I wasn't even gonna give him no shine.
I have to do that because this is my my actual like my first year like really like looking into it, and like we made the decision to not celebrate the 4th of July going forward.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? And I'm not asking anybody else to do that, but you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I still represent Veterans Day, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not giving any in Memorial Day too, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not giving any shine to the 4th of July anymore. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna run with Juneteenth. So hopefully, you know what I'm saying? So every Juneteenth going forward, I'm gonna take off. I didn't do it this year because it was too last minute, but I invite everybody. Make sure you have enough PTO. You know what I'm saying? Around June 19th to take off. You know what I'm saying? And they should know it. But yeah, he said that he made it popular. And I'm going to say this right here. This is probably going to be the first time that I kind of agree with Trump.
Yeah.
You ready? You ready for it?
Let's hear it. I'm ready.
Because we're talking about who he made it popular with. Who went out and started searching Juneteenth when people got in the uproar? It was like, nah, you can't do it on Juneteenth. A lot of people that didn't know about Juneteenth that we'll call them the Trump supporters, start looking it up. Because anything that you do, if you make a statement about something about black people, the anti-black people are always going to research that subject so they could discount it. So, you know what I'm saying? So I'm saying that no, it was a total lie that he made it more popular with a certain demographic of people. So I can see where he gets that from, because if you're only looking at that demographic of people, because he said no one knew. Yeah, no one knew in your circle. They didn't know, but people of color and black people have known about this shit for years. Like me, I didn't know about Juneteenth until probably maybe 5 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like the advent of Juneteenth, because I just didn't know about it. You know what I mean? Until I saw, you know what I'm saying, some woke people start celebrating Juneteenth, and I looked into it. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, that's what is up.
So curveball to that. I think what you're saying has some weight, that the people who maybe non-black people, put it as to simplify it, hadn't heard of it, or they just didn't know what it was.
Right.
But I don't give all the credence to Trump, because a lot of black people weren't really up on it in general. Like, they might have heard of it, but they ain't know nothing about it. I think the climate that we're living in, with all these killings, with all this these issues with police, with all these different, with everything being stripped away, and now we're finally just opening up the tablet, if you will, saying here's all the things that I omitted that you didn't know about your history. So now you're more inept, you're more prone to go look into stuff and be like, all right, this Juneteenth thing I've been hearing about for years, let me find out exactly what this is and get all the ins and outs of it. And actually, now it's something to celebrate, because the world is in upheaval, and blackness is finally, like, I hate to say it like this because I'm black, but like, it's cool again, if you will. You know what I'm saying? To know your history versus just knowing about your history in the general sense. If that makes sense.
And I'm agreeing with you, but what I'm saying is this, right? We got to talk about his sliver of the pie, right? It's more popular with his sliver of the pie. You know what I'm saying? Like, he woke people up to what it was. You know what I'm saying? Because again, even when him saying that shit, like, yo, I made Juneteenth popular for everybody that didn't know about Juneteenth, and you don't like Trump, and you on the Trump watch, and he said I like Juneteenth, and you didn't know about that shit, you're like, okay, let me go ahead and look this up. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me look at this. Let me look this up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you start looking behind the reason behind it and all that stuff. So again, like I said, I knew because they were having Juneteenth festivals. I want to say, matter of fact, more than 5 years ago, because I heard of the Juneteenth festival when I was still managing Earth Movers. So that was maybe about 10 years ago. You know what I mean? That's my first time me remembering what Juneteenth was. I just thought it was just for that specific area, but they were doing it in like Alabama, some shit like that. It was like, okay, y'all celebrating in Alabama. I just thought it was what they called it, you know what I mean? Like their own little Woodstock. But I didn't realize at that point in time, we're not doing the research, that this is what it was. So, you know what I mean? It's a good situation. Wow. You said you went to them. People finally waking up. You went to them as a kid. Yeah, they went to. How old are you? Like 47? Yep. That's a long time. No, I'm just messing with it. That's my homegirl around. I'm glad we ain't got to go to the office and you smack me in the face. But at the end of the day, it's just like, yo, it's like I'm gonna say that he ain't lying this time. It's kind of the you know what I'm saying? You didn't make it popular with black people. You made it popular with people that didn't know, that were not aware of the situation, and that's what happened. So that, and I want to also talk about how everybody is trying to come down on our good boy Bubba Wallace and NASCAR, because they found out that it may have not been a hate crime, but it was just what they said, it was a rope situated so it can hold a door or something like that together. And then what I'm going to say is this right here. We got to chalk that up. Like, no one's trying to like railroad or force that, because they try to use that as a jumping off. Like, oh, this is Bubba Smollett. No, it's not. It's an honest mistake. Like, if I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, Juicy Smoothie. Juicy Smollett. You know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying? It's like, when I look at it, it's like, it's an honest mistake. I would rather them err on the side of, let's take this serious, right?
Yeah.
Than try to, push it off as something else. Like, yeah, could they have held that information closer to their chest? They could have. You know what I'm saying? But what it did was this right here. It brought solidarity closer to it. It doesn't matter what brings the solidarity to it. They brought more solidarity to NASCAR, saying that, yo, if this is true, because they did say this is what we found, we're going to investigate it. There was a noose found in his joint. We're going to find the person that did this. It was an They didn't say, hey, this is, you know what I mean? They said we're going to do an investigation. That's what investigation does. It uncovers the truth. And the truth was that it wasn't actually, turns out that it wasn't a noose. But people are trying to jump on the band like, this is a check for our team. No, it's not.
Nah.
No, it's not. They did a fucking investigation. That's all they did. They said they were going to do an investigation before they start blaming people. But they're saying that this right here, hey, if this happens to be, we want to let you guys know whose side we're standing on. He didn't know.
And the fact that NASCAR had his back, I think, was a good sign. I mean, this is in this same timeline when they had just decided that they're no longer going to fly the Confederate flag at any NASCAR events. And they all rallied around them. They were like, "Yo, Bubba, we got your back. Don't worry about it."
But my point is, and even with that being said, see, it's coincidental. It's an easy way to connect the dots, right? Because this dude just asked, because NASCAR asked him, how can we make you feel more comfortable? He said it would be nice, or suggested that the Confederate flags be taken down, right?
Yes.
They did it. Okay. Then all of a sudden, a couple weeks later, there's a noose in his garage. Like Lynn said, he didn't see it. He didn't report it. You know what I'm saying? They saw it and they told him. You know what I mean? So NASCAR was like, someone reported to NASCAR like, yo, it's a noose in Bubba Wallace's stall. You know what I'm saying? Which Bubba Wallace and them hadn't been using for, you know what I mean, the stall, I guess the stalls are there forever, right? So they just happened to assign Bubba Wallace to this stall. So if he was assigned to the stall next to it, the one after, the one before, we wouldn't have this story, right?
Right.
It was just someone tied it up, and you know what I mean, innocently. And I'm gonna say, you know what I mean, I don't know if they use it for as a joke or whatever, or anything else, but they didn't. It was there before Bubba got there. You know what I'm saying? They didn't know it was already there for 4 months. So it's like, you know, you can't. You know what I mean? You can't fucking. You know what I mean? A new snot is a new snot. You know what I mean? It's not anything inherently racist with the new snot. It's used for different things to hold doors together and all that stuff. And also, they just happen to use the same black people. You know what I mean? It's just like it's the racist. It's the most racist of all knots. I won't. You know what I'm saying? If you got a butterfly knot, you got a new snot. I'm going with the butterfly knot all the time. But you know, I think it was just a big. It was a mistake. You know, for them to report it, but it wasn't really, because they wanted to say, "Hey, yo, y'all can't do this. So don't try this shit, because we're gonna be on it." You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be on this shit. So I think that it's not a point for the other side. It's not a point for the racially insensitive. You know what I'm saying? There's not a point for that. So,
and I mean, and to even frame it even further, there's been a resurgence, if you will, of black people being hung as of late, being found hanging from trees at Walmarts, and there was a pregnant African girl who got hung recently. Like, these are all things that are actually actively happening in the world. So if somebody saw it and they've been watching the news and they've been like, Bubba he got them to get rid of the flag. Right. People getting hung lately. Bubba's the only black dude around here, and there's a noose. I'm gonna tell somebody.
Right. I'm gonna tell somebody, and they did the right thing by reporting it, because I mean, it's even like this, even at your jobs in corporate America, they say, yo, if you see something, go ahead and report it. If we do the investigation, we find out that it really wasn't anything, you're not going to be held liable for that. You know what I'm saying? You were doing your job. You said, hey, it's better than, let's say, the unfortunate thing, they didn't say anything like that. And then after Bubba was there one night working on his car or some shit like that, and they came and hung his ass the fuck up. Oh, but and then months later, we found the noose and his thing, but we just threw it away.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Then we lost Bubba Wallace.
Right. It's better to, like you said, better to say something and nothing come and be no big deal, and it's not what you thought it was, than leaving it out there.
For real, with 2 sisters, it's a raw nerve out here, man. It's a raw nerve. You know what I'm saying? So, shoot, let's go. Well, we almost right here on the 2-hour mark. Look at this. We ain't going over. Is there anything that we else got on the books tonight, P, that we need to discuss? Boy.
I think we talked about everything. The only thing we didn't mention, because your boy jumped in, he said it briefly. We didn't talk about Sean King and White Jesus being taken down.
Oh man.
I like what you put on your page. I'm gonna let you get it off. I ain't gonna take it from you.
Do you have it? Can you get my post?
I'm gonna grab it real quick. Hold on.
Okay, cool. We're gonna grab my post real quick about my take on White Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, if you know what I'm saying, I mean, you know, what color is your Jesus? You know what I mean? Doesn't matter what color Jesus is. If you believe in Jesus, you know what I'm saying? Is your Jesus white? Is your Jesus black? You know what I mean? But this is my take on, if P could get it up, this is my take on White Jesus. I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and check this joint out. But yeah, people are taking down their White Jesuses. You know what I'm saying? I wanted Just to be on this joint right here. Just is gone. He fell asleep. Welcome
here we go.
Okay.
Let me. Oh shoot! Dang, that's the wrong button. I'm just going to have to share my actual Facebook feed so you can see it. Tab, Facebook. Here we go. There it is.
That's my joint. You know what I'm saying? This ain't Jesus. We all know Jesus had warrants, and people with warrants ain't posing for no pictures. Not my Jesus. My Jesus was too busy saving folks to be taking selfies. That's where I'm at with it. You know what I'm saying? That's my That's my take on. But I'm saying it's like this. Like we all know, and like because I tell people this right here when they want to, like you still have some people that are indoctrinated. Like the picture of Jesus is that's not like you have to know that's not Jesus. That's an artist. That's an artist's interpretation of what Jesus is, right? You know what I'm saying? That's an artist's interpretation. Like you know what I'm saying? Because you'll paint him black. You know what I mean? Some people play it white, but listen, that ain't Jesus. Because if you pull up, because here are simple facts. Here are simple facts. Because I'm not gonna do my opinion on what I think or anything like that. Here are simple facts. Okay. Where is Bethlehem located? If you Google right now where Bethlehem is located, it's gonna put him somewhere in the Middle Eastern regions, correct? Am I mistaken? Okay. So then what I want you to do now is this right here. Since we know where the location of Bethlehem is from, right? Or Nazareth, because he's from Nazareth and Bethlehem. He represents two hoods. You know what I'm saying? So if you look at where Nazareth and Bethlehem are, they're in that region. Am I correct, P9? Because I don't want to say nothing. Church check me, okay? Now, if you say it's in the Middle East region, and then you say, and you Google, what do people of the Middle East look like? And you put that picture in, it's going to bring you a whole waft of people from the Middle East. Right?
Right.
Then you compare those people from when Jesus was born at to these pictures. There is no way Jesus was that color out there in the no. Now, I'm not saying Jesus, you know what I mean? Okay, then we'll stop right there. Let's stop right there. Okay. So I'm going to say, because these are all facts, what I'm saying. In the Bible, it says, and I might be misquoting, but Jesus' skin was made of bronze, and his hair was made of wool. So what I want you to do, I want you to Google the color bronze. If you Google the color bronze, what pops up? It's a brown color, very brown. It's the brown. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like when you got dark-skinned niggas and light-skinned niggas and a brown-skinned nigga, it's the brown-skinned nigga in the family. You know what I'm saying? So it's like right there in the middle, right? So boom, it's bronze. Okay, you pull up the picture. You LeBron's the same bronze. LeBron is also bronze. Is what I'm saying. So when you pull that up, you know what I'm saying? When you pull that up, right? When you pull up bronze, then you associate that with the picture. It's not there. Now, I want you to pull up wool. Wool don't. You can pull up hair of wool. They describe it. He had hair of wool. When I look at wool, I don't see wool wavy. I don't know. Is it any wavy? Is there any sheep out there that got 360s? You know what I'm saying? Is it now? If they would have said, "Yo, Jesus' hair was the same texture of Rottweiler backs," then I'd be like, "Okay." You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, if you said, you know what I mean, Jesus had Rottweiler back hair, then I could be like, you know what? That could be it. Because if you look at the back of a Rottweiler back, you know what I'm saying? You know that joint, she get nice and wavy. That's what I'm saying. These are all facts that I'm just putting out there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? If we read the same King James version of the Bible, yo, Jesus ain't white. He sound like Terrence Howard to me. I'm out here trying to save souls, man. Come on, man. Let me go.
Hey, man, listen,
hey,
man.
Let me just come over here. Hey, Jesus. Hey, Joseph. Hey, man. Come on, Joseph. Come on, man. Come on, man. Let me out the joint. Hey, Thomas. I know you out here doubt me, man. Don't gotta be out doubt me, man. Judas, man. Judas, I'm gonna shoot you.
Yeah, we can leave it right there, man. We want to get controversial. It's just an interesting conversation that's happening. So we want to throw it out there. Ratchet Tears, let y'all chew on it. Let us know what you think in the comments.
Yeah, throw us in the comments right now. Yo, is anyone disagreeing with? Because we got people looking. You can comment if you think it's bullshit or does it make sense. Drop it in the comments real quick. We still got about a minute left.
But y'all, it's been an eventful, crazy week. We had a guest on today. So
Yeah,
remember, guys, we are interested and we're looking for a potential female host to be a part of this show. If you are interested, make sure you record your demos, send it to Big Tag Bishop, who's on this side. Yep. Tag me, DJ Phenomenal. Tag King Just. Let us know. We want to see your followings. We want to see what people think. Have people share it. Have people make sure they tag us. If you got a fan, a built-in following, we want to know who you are. If you're already watching the show, or if it's somebody you think will be a good fit, again, let us know. Right. Be in contact with us. Catch us on Instagram, Facebook, whatever.
Yeah, and if you get at us or whatever, we'll go ahead and give you the dry run on the next. You know what I'm saying? We don't mind. We'll give you a full on dry run, how the show works and everything like that, and we'll see what's going on. If you bring something to the table, we out here. I think it's time for the. You know what I'm saying? We've been doing this for 4 years. You know what I'm saying? And and I, like I said, I don't hey, race, creed, color, don't care. If you are bringing something to the table and you have a dynamic point of view, come on down to Intelligently Ratchet. We would love to have you, sisters. So, you know what I'm saying? Please send us those emails, and tag Intelligently Ratchet, the Intelligently Ratchet on IG, and also tag us on the IG. And let's see what your people talking about, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about it. And we cuss a lot. So if you ain't got a problem with cussing and drinking on air, man, that's what we do. But yo, this has been Bishop Omega, you know what I'm saying, for Young Just or King Just. I keep on calling him Young Just. King Just, Life and Times of King Just, and my good friend Phenomenal, man. We out, man. We'll see y'all next Wednesday.
Peace.
Peace.